All right, now I think it's better if I just hit page by page. All right, so you guys can kind of tell me how you did. All right. Anybody have any questions with 1 through 9? Yes, go. Number 2. The measure of each exterior angle of a regular polygon is 172. Find the number of sides. So if the interior angle is 172, remember the exterior angle would be what? 8 degrees, right? You agree with that? You sure? All right. And so remember, 360 divided by the exterior angle is the number of sides. That was the quick way to do it. You could also do n minus 2 times 180 divided by n equals 360, right? All right. I said that wrong. N minus 2 times 180 divided by n equals the interior angle. But again, it's much easier just to always do the exterior angle, and then 360 divided by the exterior angle is the number of sides. Good?
How do you get the exterior angle again?
360 divided by the number of sides is the exterior angle. Or 360 degrees divided by the exterior angle is the number of sides. Did that answer your question?
Well, like, how do you find the exterior angle when you have the interior angle?
Well, the exterior angle and the interior angle are supplementary. You agree? Yes or no? You're not answering me.
Yes.
Right? This right here, if I were to draw from here, this is an interior, this is an exterior. See how easy that is? Does that make sense now?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a big delay or something. I don't know why it's taking you so long. All right. That's all right, though. Anybody have any questions on the rest of the first page? Anybody? All right, let's see what's going on 10 through 15. 10 through 15? Remember, if something is a square, it's also a rhombus, correct? All right. Nobody has any questions on through 15, guys? 15, it is a square. All right, but because it's a square, it's also a what? It's also a rhombus. You happy with that? Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Exactly correct. All right.
So what's the difference between a square and a rhombus?
Now remember, here's a good definition. A rectangle, the opposite sides are congruent. You with me?
Yeah.
And the angles are 90 degrees. So think about it this way. In a square, are the opposite sides congruent? So it fits the definition, correct?
Yeah. But
a rectangle isn't a square because all sides are not equal. You with me now, right?
Yeah.
All right. Those are kind of tricky questions if you're not careful.
So
All right.
What would you want us to put, like all of them?
Yeah, they're all of them. All right. Make sense? Anybody else on this page? All right, here we go. 16 through 26. What do we got here? Yes. Let's look at 21. A convex hexagon has interior angles that measure blah, 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 blah. Find the value of x and the measure of each angle. So the sum of the interior angles of a hexagon, right? N minus 2 times 180. That's the sum of the angles. Do you agree with me? And so now 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 times 180 is 720. So all of the angles add up to 720. You agree with that? Is that all right?
Could you go to 17?
Well, hold on a second. Yeah, I will. Anybody else have any questions on 21? And then, of course, you just plug in x. What?
No, I thought it looks like on the X. Oh, wait, no. There's like an X.
Anybody else?
Hi,
Okay.
can you do 24 and 26?
Yes, just 1 second. All right. All right. Now, Mia, what did you want?
24 and 26.
All right, let's look at 24. Yeah, now this one is like I said, guys, I really want to concentrate on number 24. All right, because it's a quadratic. All right, it's been a while since you've had to solve a quadratic. All right, ABCD is a parallelogram with diagonals that intersect each other at E. AE is equal to EC because the diagonals of a parallelogram bisect each other. So now x squared must be equal to 6x minus 8. Mia, do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Now, over here is a review of solving a quadratic. And again, I don't blame you if you've forgotten. All right, we haven't done it in a while, but it's just factoring. Then you set the factors equal to 0. Are you happy with that, Mia?
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else have a question with 24?
When you like plug it in, I like got 16.
Why did you go X equals 4 or 2 to AC?
Guys, now listen to me now. Super duper important if you're asking me that question. Listen carefully. Tomorrow, you're going to make a bunch of dumb mistakes, and I'm going to count a bunch of problems wrong because you don't read what? The question. You with me? You guys know this, right?
Oh, you don't.
Right. That's what I'm saying, right? It's not a difficult thing, right? But you're going to be mad at yourself tomorrow. It's a good lesson today, right? A good lesson is you did the problems, and now you made a bunch of mistakes. The mistakes are not the geometry most of the time. It's answering the question properly. All right, does anybody have any doubts about what I'm saying, right? Answer the right question, you're going to be mad at yourself. All right, you're going to get all the problems right you think is, oh, so easy. Every year, everybody walks out, that was the easiest test in the whole world. And everybody makes B's and C's. All right, they make dumb mistakes with the math, and then they don't answer the right question. All right. So anybody have any more questions with number 24? Make sure you're good. What?
I'm so confused when I was 32.
Well, what isn't x equals 4?
Yeah,
So what is AE?
it says
I'm just asking.
16.
So what's AC?
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? You have to be careful and answer the question. That's what I'm trying to point out. All right, every single time it's about answering the question. Now, does anybody else have any questions with 24? All right, now let's look at 26 real quick. Okay, so for quadrilateral ABCD, the slope of AB is 2/3 and the slope of BC is -2. Find the slopes of CD and DA. Well, if it's a parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel. So I just drew the shape. Mia, do you agree those have to be parallel?
Oh, wait. Yeah, that's really easy. Sorry.
Yeah, no, don't be sorry. All right. Here we go. What, Bo?
22.
All right, let's look at 22 for a second. Find the measure. What is that? How do I find the exterior angle? How do you find an exterior angle?
Um, like
Come on, 360 divided by the number of sides is the exterior angle. You have to know that. You hear me?
Yeah.
So just 360 divided by 2x. You agree with that? Which is 180 over x.
okay.
Correct? Simon,
I'm confused how it should only have 2 sides.
it doesn't say 2 sides.
But then it's 2 times 2x.
X is the number of sides. You see what I'm saying, right? All right, that's what that says. Sam. Well, that's on the next page, Sam. No, I'm not. All right, anybody else have anything on this page? Yes. Yeah, because X is not defined as a number, right? I like that problem. All right. There's a formula, 360 divided by the number of sides. All right, here we go. Next page. Sam, you got a question? What's the problem? Remember, if it's a rectangle, these are equal. So those base angles are equal. Right or wrong? So is that good enough, or do I need to go any further? Nothing. Anybody else on 27 through 33? Go. 28. The diagonals of a rhombus intersect at E. BAE is 2/3 of BCD. So I got to find BAE for you. This angle right here is 2/3 of ABE, right? You agree with that? So now, first of all, I thought this was tricky until I realized the diagonals of a rhombus are what? The diagonals of a rhombus do. Now, listen, the other thing I try to tell kids is we're talking about angles, right? So we're not talking about sides, right? So when I ask you about the diagonals of a rhombus, we want to mention something about the angles because we're talking about the angles. Now, why am I telling you that? Because when you take the test, that's what you have to realize. Does everybody agree I'm talking about angles, right? So there must be something special about the diagonals of a rhombus. They are perpendicular. Does everybody agree with that? That's another really good question because you have to kind of know the rule. Now, did everybody understand what I said about, don't tell me about the sides if we're talking about angles. Try to figure out what's special about the angles. So what's true if this angle is 90 degrees? What's true about these two angles right here? They add up to 90 degrees. That is correct. They add up to 90. So I wrote down angle BAE plus ABE is 90. Do I agree with that? But BAE is what? 2/3 of ABE. So I just labeled ABE what? X, and this is 2/3 X. That's another really good problem. If you got that right, I think you're in great shape for tomorrow. All right. I think you're in great shape for tomorrow. That's very tricky. All right. And you got to practice, guys. I'm telling you. What? Well, what did you get for X? Right? So X is 54, right? So they're asking about BCD, right? So let's find that. BCD. Isn't that this angle right here? All right. So X represents ABE, right? So that's 54, right? Which means this angle right here is how much? Good, 54. Right? You agree with that or not? Right, so that's 108. Right, the other way to think of that is, okay, if one of them's 54, do you agree? And again, there's just so many ways to do this. You just have to find a way to do it, right? So does everybody agree the top triangle is an isosceles, right? So then 54, I could put a 54 down here, which means that's 72, right? Now it doesn't look right. The reason why it doesn't look right is because I didn't know what angle was obtuse and what angle was acute. Does everybody agree? All right, so I should have probably fixed that. But then I said, well, we're not going to know which one's the obtuse and which one's the acute. All right. Sam, you good now? All right, that's another really good problem. All right, I like this page a lot, guys. Those of you guys who asked, good job. Anybody
Number
else?
32.
What?
Number 32.
Okay, so 32, it says the vertices of a trapezoid. So I drew it out. Did I make a mistake? Oh, smarty pants. Thank you. Let's redo this one. I don't think I can redo it. Yeah, because I already copied it. All right, so let me just fix this real quick. So 10, -1 is way over here. So now you see it, right? So it's this way. Let me just recopy this. She's brutal. There we go. That's better now, right? Is that what everybody else got? Yeah. So it's supposed to go here then. Is that what you're telling me? Is it to 8? -8, yeah. All right, so let me get rid of this. All right, there we go. What, Bo? Your grade's gonna look really wrong tomorrow. Yeah, 100 points higher than what I'm gonna grade it as. All right, anybody else? All right, so now what's this length right here? Somebody tell me, because I missed that one.
18.
All right, here we go. All right, everybody good now? So the mid segment's going to be what? 13. All righty. Anybody else on that page? Go. 33. Determine whether a quadrilateral is a kite. All right. One thing about a kite, this length has to be equal to this. This has to be equal to this. The diagonals are perpendicular, correct? So I think what I did was I just drew it out and then I drew the diagonals and it kind of looks like a kite, right? So you can measure BA and BC. And realize BC doesn't equal BA, right? So it's not a kite. But you can also find the slope of BD and CA. You agree with that? So there's lots of ways to do that one. I think when I did it, I just did the slopes of the diagonals. But you could say that BA is equal to, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, square root of 17, I think. And that BA is 1, 2, 3, 4, 16, 20. Uh-oh, BA is the square root of 20 and BC is the square root of 17. So right off the bat, you know it's not a kite. Good? All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Nobody else? The diagonals of a square intersect. AE is 2. You with me on this now? So keep in mind this right here. This is 2, this side length is 2. So it's just a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Agreed? But they want the what? So everybody thought they were real smart and put 2 radical 2 as the answer. Right? And some even put 4 radical 2 and saying it's what? Everybody see why it's 8 radical 2? Yeah, multiply by 4 is the perimeter. Again, I think that was the most annoying part on the test. I can't say it enough. Everybody should solve it and then read the question and make sure they're answering the question. All right, you don't want to be mad at yourself after the test because you knew everything on the test, but you didn't answer the right question. Okie doke, flip the page. 34 through 37, how did those go? Yes. 36, find the value of x in each kite. Well, do you remember this angle is equal to this angle? And the angles of a kite add up to 360 because it's 4 sides. Right? Nothing to it. And then, of course, they're solving for x, right? And it says find x. All right, I'm just telling you, I'm checking. All right, the answer. Make sure. Right? Somebody else on this page. Somebody else, somebody else, somebody else. All right, feeling good.
Um, 36.
Good. Let's look at 36. The angles add up to 360. Right? It's a quadrilateral, therefore they add up to 360. Zayden, right? You happy with that now? All right. Flip the page. 38 through 44. A lot going on here too, guys. Yes. This is a what? No. Just a quadrilateral. Right? There's nothing special about it, right? Opposite sides aren't parallel. So it's just a quadrilateral. So that means all the angles again add up to what? That's all there is to it. Anybody else?
Wait, how'd you do 40?
How did I do what?
40?
Yeah, 40 is a trick question. The sum of the exterior angles are always what? They're always 360 degrees. So this right here doesn't matter because it wants the sum.
Okay.
If it wanted the measure of each exterior angle, you'd do 360 divided by 39. But it doesn't, it wants the sum. So you have to remember the exterior angles always add up to 360. All right, someone else here. Anybody else on this page?
Mhm.
44, what's going on with 44? So they want this shape to be a parallelogram, right? So this angle here is the same as this angle, true? You agree with that? Those are alternate interior angles. And then opposite angles of a parallelogram are always congruent. Anybody have any issues? Anybody else? Dave, you good with that, buddy? All right, anybody else on this page? All right, 45 through 49. What's the problem? Everybody looks pretty good. Anybody have any questions? 45 to 49. All right, moving on. '50 through 56. Thank you for that information.
Could you do 56?
Let's try 56. Thank you. Now, remember, there's two ways to do this problem. One way is to say that angle Q is equal to angle S if it's a kite. Do you agree with that? And then the angles add up to 360. So if I call that X, that's X. So you could say 2X plus 22 plus 90 equals 360. Or if you draw the diagonal, you can call this 11 and this 45 and this X, and then they add up to 180. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, buddy. Anybody else on that page? And I don't even mind, guys. There was a lot yesterday. So, you know, if you are reading through one and you didn't do it, but maybe you're not 100% sure, I can lead you in the right direction on that. Anybody have any questions? Yes. 51. So the diagonals of a square intersect at E What's true about AE and BD? You see it now, right? You could take half of BD and set it equal, or you could double AE and set it equal. Anybody else have a question? Nobody? Oh, what? You got it, you said?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. All right, let's scroll down. I can look at 59 real quick. Yes. Yes, let's look at 57. Thank you. So I graph that, and I want to prove that it's a rectangle. Now it says, to prove that ABCD is a rectangle, you would plot the parallelogram on the coordinate plane and then find which of the following. Well, I almost thought A was okay, but how do you find the measure of the angles? Right, so what I'm saying is, if you knew these were right angles, correct? Then that would be a rectangle, right? But the only way to know those are right angles if you check out the what? Slopes. You with me on that? So that's why I didn't think A was the correct answer. Right? The slopes of the diagonals tell me nothing. Midpoints of the diagonals. Or what's true? If the what? If the lengths of the diagonals are equal, then it's automatically a rectangle. Right?
How do you figure out the length?
Well, you could use the distance formula, right?
Or
Yes, in that case. All right. All righty. So let's look at this proof real quick. So it's a rectangle. Now, because it's a rectangle, it's also a what? It's also a parallelogram. Now, I'm trying to prove that FG is congruent to HD. That's what I'm trying to prove. So we know that ED is congruent to FC because opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. We know that angle E and angle C are right angles. That's definition of a rectangle. And then we know that CG was congruent to HE because that was given. So now the triangles are congruent by side angle side. Yes. Is everybody okay with that? I don't think that was like really that terrible. Is everybody okay with that proof? That wasn't too bad. All right. Hopefully feel like you're getting better at the proofs. Anybody have any issues? All right. Let's check out 60 and 61. Oh, that's the end. Very good. So here we go. It says here, that's a rectangle. Z is the midpoint. I want to prove that Y, that's almost the same as the last one. Agreed? Did I do? Yeah, that's almost the same exact thing, right? Right? So because it's a rectangle, right? And a rectangle is a parallelogram, we can say this is equal because it's given. Definition of midpoint. Triangles are congruent. CPCTC. I don't think that's hard. Does everybody agree? Kind of the same as the last one almost. All right, I really hope you feel like you can do that, guys. All right, I hope you feel like you can do that. Now this one, all right, I can understand this is the problem I have. I don't like the way I don't like them listing things out because I think I don't like it. Does everybody agree they'd rather just write the proof themselves? Agreed? Yeah, I feel that way too. I want to just write the proof myself. All right. Because again, I don't think, I didn't follow their logic when they did this. All right. So what I want to do is I kind of want you to just disregard this information right now. And let's just look at it and see if we can just talk our way through it. All right. So it says complete the 2-column proof. So it's a parallelogram. And then it says BQ is congruent to DS. So I'm going to mark that. So this is congruent to this. And PA is congruent to RC. So PA is congruent to RC. Prove that PQRS is a parallelogram. So if it's a parallelogram, that just means opposite sides are what? That means opposite sides are congruent, right? That's one thing. All right. So in my opinion, I know that SQ or SC is equal to AQ. Do everybody agree with me on that? Because we know that AB is congruent to DC. Do everybody agree with that? So that's what I wrote here. So let me just show you that real quick. So you would say AQ plus QB equals AB. Does everybody see that? And then the other side would be DS plus SC equals DC. Does everybody agree with that? Now, does everybody agree that those AB is equal to DC, right?
Yeah.
So now we can say AQ plus QB equals DS plus SC. Did everybody see that?
Yeah, mine's not.
No, yeah, because AB is equal to DC. We already said that. Because they're parallelograms, right? Come on now, make sure you're hearing me. I think this is a good proof. This is congruent to this, right? Now it says that BQ is equal to DS, right? So I'm going to replace BQ with DS. So AQ plus DS equals DS plus SC. And now we just do the subtraction, right? So now we just found out that AQ was equal to CS. And now those two triangles are congruent by side angle side, which means SR is congruent to what? QP. Everybody agree? Right. And now you do the same exact thing with what? With the other side. All right, you do the same exact thing with QC, I'm sorry, with QR and PS. Same exact process. BR plus RC equals BC, AP plus PD equals AD. Right, I need you to be able to do that. All right, does everybody see that? And then once you tell me that PS is congruent to QR, then it's a parallelogram because opposite sides are congruent. Is everybody with me? Yeah. How did I prove CPCTC, right? Because look, all right, I'm gonna erase this right here. And I want you to be able to tell me right now that you see this triangle right here is equal to this triangle right here. So therefore, by CPCTC, you know that this side is equal to this side, right? And then you're gonna do the same exact thing for this side and this side, right? And then we can say that now is a parallelogram because opposite sides are parallel. All right. I feel that's a good review, guys. Very, very good. And I'm just gonna say it one more time. If you don't read the question tomorrow, you're gonna be mad at yourself on Monday, or not Monday, but next period, right? You'll see your grade and you'll be mad at yourself. All right. No, actually, I have class, so I won't be able to grade it the following period. It'll be graded during 4th. What? Anybody else have any questions? Anybody have any other questions? Yeah,
How do you grade so quickly?
because I've been doing it forever.
Just curious, that's a big thing.
Oh, yeah, everyone check their record.
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go,
I
guys.
can see it.
Hey, my homeschool peeps, hopefully you feel good about it. All right.
What do you mean?
You guys have a great day, rest of the day, okay?
Bye, thank you.
Good luck, review.
You too. Thank you.
All right, take care, stay safe.
Thank
too.
you,
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye, guys, thank you.